we are going to be experiencing a beautiful harvest supermoon in Aries on October the 7th. And what that means for you is that it is a very powerful moon. It's around bringing in the harvest from the seeds that you've planted, but it's also going to wake up some emotional aspects in you. Now remember, full moons are shining a light on things that you need to release. So when you are doing your ritual around a full moon, it is what you want to bring in by releasing something. So I just want to talk about the Aries energy during this time. And Aries, there's some key words that I want you to think about when you are working on your manifestation. You're writing your letter to Goddess Selene, which is Luna. And here are a few words that you might want to think about that really works with Aries energy. And that is like beginnings, departure, energy, agility, off to a good start. And, expanding on something and taking the initiative. It is also about enthusiasm, passion, fight, intuition, calmness under pressure. It is also, think of being unique and authentic and the only one and pioneer, being the first to bring something forward. Independence, starting a business, or trailblazing something new in. Taking the first step, discover, carve out, go forward, move, come out on top. Those are a few things that you want to think about when you are, it's 222 as I'm recording this, as you are working on this manifestation for your ritual, for your full moon ritual. And the challenge, like these are, you want to think of as it being passionate, bold, quickly, powerfully, actively, bravely, strongly. So when you think of Aries, Aries represents exercise, the head, the hair, the face, and starting something new, and sports, because you always think of Aries as being very sporty. So that's the energy of Aries. So Aries is always wanting to pioneer something new in. And because it is a super moon, full moon, it's going to shine a light on whatever you haven't brought in that you've been working towards. And so during a full moon in Aries, you're going to want to focus on being patient and not be hasty, right? Because if you're feeling like you're falling behind, that is when you get really reactive and then you feel like everything's collapsing. And so you start treading water, and that's not what you want to do in this full moon energy. So think about what you want to release. And these are things that you would want to release is impatience, hastiness, impulsiveness, being hot-tempered, anger, frustration, jealousy, even jealousy toward someone that's a competitor, and troubles or worries around your head, face, and hair. So like headaches, or if you're worried about your hair, the condition of your hair or your face, you want to release any of those critiques that you're, saying to yourself. So Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is, the planet of war, but our aggression. But Mars also is the ruler of the first house. And the first house is all about how you appear to others, your appearance, your first impression on others. And so that's why it's focused around the hair, the head, and the face. And then if you're too assertive or too aggressive, you can turn people off. But it's when you are authentic and confident and you know who you are, then people are magnetized by you. Mars also is associated with the color red. So you want to work with red. And red also represents money. It wakes up the passions within you. So on your altar, you could add roses, you could burn red candles, um, you could even bring in orange for the harvest moon, um, and anything that you want to, according to what goddess you are working with. But I don't want you to get too hung up on the details. I just want you to like follow your intuition, what you want to place on your altar or how you want to have this full moon ritual. Nothing is set in stone. I could give you guidelines, but I really want you to adopt a way of it just being personal to you. That's what ignites, because this is a fire sign. That's what ignites your ritual and your this manifestation or transformation that you're going through, because fire is all about being inspired and taking inspired action. But if you jump the gun and you're too reactive, you can burn the whole house down. Is it's that energy. So I just want to talk about, according to your rising sign, how you might be feeling this moon in that house, in what house in your natal chart. Now, remember, this is just a general reading about your sign because I don't have your natal chart. But according to your rising sign, I will know where you have Aries in your chart. So that's where I'm reading this full moon's energy, how to affect you. If you don't know what your rising sign is, you can go, there's a lot of websites that offer free natal charts. But the one thing that you do need is your time of birth. You have your place of birth, your date of birth, but your time is what's going to show you what your rising sign. And when you look at your chart, you will see that there is a horizontal line and it says ascendant and descendant. The ascendant is your rising sign. So let's just get started. I'm going to go through, starting with Aries, I'm going to go through each zodiac sign to let you know how you might be feeling this super moon, full moon energy in your chart. I'm only focusing on the moon in this video. I'm not going to talk about all the other transits, other than we are in Libra season and Mercury is in Libra and Venus will be moving into Libra on October 13th. And that will change this energy because Mercury is the way that we speak, and Venus is how we love. So, that's where I'm saying, like, if you have someone approaching you, whether it's a partnership or a family member, and you feel like they're projecting onto you, don't get reactive. Just ask, what do I need to learn about myself? So if you are in Aries rising, Aries is going to be in your first house. So you are going to be focusing on hair, head, face, your appearance. You might feel this inspired nature to exercise, or you might be releasing any thoughts or critical thoughts that you have about your body and or why you don't want to exercise, or just the negative things that you tell yourself, because remember, full moons are about releasing. So you want to set an intention of what you're not going to bring into the next lunar cycle. And this is powerful because if you word it in a way that you are working with the universe, your results will happen a lot faster. To be aware of that, the critical chatter, the monkey mind that is keeping you from your highest timeline, where you are feeling confident, comfortable in your skin, authentic, and having a strong sense of inner knowing. So pay attention to those themes that are coming up during this harvest supermoon in Aries. It's also the house of your appearance, like I was saying. So you might be feeling like you want to edit your wardrobe. And being that we're in fall season, it's about, layers and removing the layers that we don't need anymore from summer. So you might also be feeling like you want to get your closet organized. You want to think of ways that you want to present yourself during this fall season. So as an Aries rising, you might be drawn to editing your wardrobe. Also, this full moon is going to have you questioning how you see yourself in the world, and how other people see you. So you might have people, because also we are in Libra season, and it's all about relationships, right? So you might have people mirroring to you or projecting onto you. So don't get headstrong like an Aries and bulldoze your way through it or want to fight your way through because you want to be right. Don't get reactive. Ask yourself, what do I need to learn in this moment? Okay, let's move on to Taurus risings. So if you're a Taurus rising, you're going to feel this in your 12th house. And 12th house is naturally where Pisces is. So it is very imaginative, intuitive, compassion, dreamlike, but also it is about avoidance and addiction. So you're going to feel this mood where you need to release any addictive behaviors, and it has to do with the hair, the face, and the mouth, right? Like if you're eating things that are not good for you, that's going to come up. So be aware if you start seeing old patterns, you start to, like, the light is shine on these addictive patterns that you have that you've been avoiding in your life and you weren't paying attention to it. Also, it is about allowing yourself to awaken your imagination and trusting your intuition. And so if there's a project that that you've been working on, maybe you can, during this manifestation of the harvest new moon, is if there was any avoidance patterns of procrastination, you can word your manifestation in a way like, I am so happy now that I no longer avoid the project. I've been working on it and it's all coming together, and the abundance is coming in, and it's above my expectation. So always keep it as a positive spin when you're talking with Luna, Selene, the moon goddess. Okay, so that's where you're going to feel this in your 12th house. Now, if you are a Gemini rising, you're going to feel it in your 11th house. So this is about how you feel in, like, social groups and community. So being that we're in Libra season, also, it's like you might be planning some activities around social groups, like going to a pumpkin farm or a corn maze or whatever. But know that Aries is there. So, like, if somebody approaches you and cuts you off, don't let that hot air, that aggression come in and, voice like, who the hell do you think you are, kind of thing. So this is also going to affect you in, like, technology and how you're using technology. Are you being aggressive, assertive? Are you being ambitious? Because you can be ambitious, because Aries energy is all about, starting something new, being a pioneer, but not aggressive. So when it comes to social groups, technology, or even just wanting to be the first to bring out whatever this thing is you're working out, like, there's a healthy side of being competitive, but then there's an unhealthy side. So don't let the unhealthy side come out with the aggression of Aries. Learn to respond and not react. And that's where you're going to feel this energy. It is a great place to have this moon, because we also have Pluto in Aquarius, which rules the 11th house, and there's a transformational energy around that. So if you have, like, a strong wish that you've been working on and being ambitious, Aries is going to light that fire for you so that you can get it done. Cancer rising, you're going to have Aries in the 10th house. So this moon is going to focus around career. So whatever, like, if you've been really aggressive, ambitious, and working hard trying to find, a job, or trying to start a business or create something, because remember, Aries energy is very entrepreneurial energy. This moon is going to shine a light on what isn't working and what is working. So you're going to want to edit your process, whether you might need to clean up your resume, or maybe there's some business processes that you need to, and systems you need to learn so your business runs smoothly. That's what's going to be coming up for you. It's also your public reputation. So it's how people see you. And, Aries can be seen as a go-getter and a high achiever, but also can be very reactive and forceful. And like I said, fire energy where it's like you can inspire people around you, or you can just burn the whole house down. So you have to be aware of that. And because it's your subconscious mind that the moon represents, and it is these belief systems that you have, and it's about your emotions and inward. So you can't point your finger when you feel the emotions coming up. You have to ask, what do I have on repeat? It's always going to be about you. You might be feeling like, because it is your public reputation, you might be feeling like you want to do something, maybe change your hairstyle, or wear your makeup differently, or because you want to put your best foot forward. If you are a Leo rising, you're going to feel this in the ninth house. And the ninth house is about traveling abroad. It's also higher education, religion, and philosophy. So those are topics where, it can get very, what's the word? Argumentative, right? And because Aries energy wants to argue and can be aggressive, you've got to watch out for trying to get your point across when it comes to religion or philosophy, or even traveling somewhere different and being in a country where you don't understand their culture. It's also about higher education. So you might feel like a spurt of inspiration that you want to learn something new. You want to go back to school, or you want to learn a new skill set, that you'll feel that. Or if you've been working towards that and you haven't achieved, or you're not closer to completion, then you're going to ask why am I holding myself back? Why am I procrastinating? Or why am I sabotaging? And then when it comes to dogma, you're going to have a strong opinion around, especially because of what's going on right now in the world. You're going to be very opinionated. But remember, this is about your emotions. This is your inner world. This is your beliefs, but also being able to not be so one-sided, and being able to adapt to other people's cultures, other people's views, and their philosophies. So you're going to feel that with this super moon, and you're going to be drawn to maybe wanting to manifest a speedy, because Aries is all about quick energy, speedy energy, like a speedy process to learning something, or a speedy process to heal yourself around your religious beliefs, or a speedy process to work with a community and better understand um, their beliefs and their philosophy. Now, if you have a Virgo rising, then Aries is going to be in your eighth house. So this is going to bring up any reactive habits that you have around other people's money, credit cards, taxes, and deaths and rebirths and transformation. So because Aries energy is fire energy, it just wants to get it done. It's like, let's just do this. But you can't spiritually bypass your healing process to transform. So don't get impatient with the process. Like if you're going right now, if you're experiencing like a dark night of the soul, because the eighth house is the house of shadow work. If you're experiencing a lot of heaviness and you're just wanting to rush through it, like you think you can bypass all of it, it doesn't work. You have to be patient with yourself and give yourself some grace. Now, if it comes to like the mundane things like credit card use, don't be so reactive, because whenever we feel emotional, we feel this stagnant energy, we want movement, because fire energy is about movement. And say like this business you're working on, or this job hasn't come in, or this project isn't, you're not receiving the returns because it's other people's money giving to you, you're not seeing the returns as quickly, you could get very frustrated and reactive. So you could spend more, create more credit card debt, because you want some kind of instant gratification. Because remember, this is tapping into your emotions and knee-jerk reactions, but it's also about bringing something that's uniquely you, that's authentically you. So if you are going through the shadow work process right now, and you know that you're like in your cocoon right now and you're ready to spread your wings, like you're coming through that full metamorphosis, be patient with yourself at this time, especially because it is Libra season, and Libra is very Venusian energy. So when I talk about all of these rising signs, you want to keep in mind that it's Venusian energy that is birthing along with Aries. So it is the masculine and the feminine. that you are playing with. And Libra season is, it introduces autumn, where it'd be closer to autumn equinox. And it's about, just taking off those layers that no longer serve you. So give yourself some grace for whatever is coming up for you during the Aries super moon, full moon. And if you've been doing your inner work, you might be seeing like things are starting to work out. Your abundance is finally coming in for all of the hard work that you've done. Now, if you are a Libra rising, it's going to be in your 7th house. So Aries in your 7th house, it's all about relationships. And it is the masculine and feminine. You're in your Venusian energy. It's Libra season. It's about peace and harmony and beauty. And so this is, going to feel really good. But then also what will come up is if you are operating from your masculinity in a relationship, if you're bossy and you're assertive and it has to go your way and you're ready to, always bump heads with your partner. It could be a business partner as well. It doesn't have to be a love partner. That's going to come up for you. And any emotions around a relationship, because remember, relationships are our mirror. And so they're teaching us something about ourselves. Whether it feels uncomfortable or not, you have the power to decide that if you've grown, that you no longer relate to this relationship. It's not serving you anymore. But that's it. That is your process. But don't be reactive because somebody is mirroring something. Like, I'm not saying like if it's negative and it's abusive, of course if you get that feel like you're done. But I'm saying like if it's just in conversation and you want to be right and you're ready to go to war about it, that's on you. You've got to question that. So this super full moon, harvest moon is going to bring that in. But it's also can bring in a more loving, dynamic relationship where, it's like there's a lot of passion and fire. Now, if you have Scorpio, it's going to affect you, a Scorpio rising, it's going to affect you in your 6th house. And the 6th house is about your habits, your daily routines, how you work with others. And it's, about health. So being that we're talking about hair, face, mouth, our head, those are going to come up. So like if you're suffering from migraines, or if you have bad habits of the foods that you eat, like it's going to shine a light on all of that. And then also like with coworkers, or how you serve others. So if you're very aggressive, if you're competitive, or if you're very ambitious and strategic, and it's like you're going to get it done. Like you're not wasting any more time. But not from a reactive state. Like don't go into your pantry and throw everything out because have that negative chatter and you're just like, screw this. I'm getting rid of everything. Nothing is good for me. I mean, it could be a good thing, but I don't know what's in your pantry. But I'm just saying it's like not all or nothing. Like give yourself some time where you breathe and then you look at it from a different lens, not from like the attitude like I'm just going to get rid of it all and I'll figure it out later. Be careful of that, especially when it comes to your health. Sagittarius rising, you're going to feel this in your 5th house. And the 5th house is the house of passion, children, your self-expression, and like shining a light on you and what your creativity and how you want to be seen in the world. So this is going to inspire you to get really creative or think of that new idea and then see how you can manifest it or how you want to express yourself in the world. Are you expressing yourself from a place of being aggressive and not wanting to see other people's side? It's like no compromise. It's just like it's my way or the highway. So that's going to come up for you because, again, the moon is shining a light on patterns that you have when it comes to your self-expression, creativity, or even your relationship with your children. And being that if you're Sagittarius rising, it's going to be in your 5th house. With children, it's how do you communicate with your kids? Are you being combative? Because that's what Aries is known to be, a very combative sign. Are you listening to their side? Are you understanding their feelings? Or if you are getting into your emotions about your child parent relationship, what is it about you, that how you're operating from? Because this is your childlike essence. And if you could step into remembering what it was like when you were a child or a teenager and the things that you did, and then also your creativity. So it's like if you're feeling like this spark and you're wanting to bring something, do something artistic, beautiful, whether it's writing, singing, dancing, and if you're holding yourself back from it, why are you holding yourself back from it? Or if you are expecting, like having high expectations for the result of something that you've been working on and you're not receiving it and you're ready to just give up on it, because Aries are cardinal signs and they're known to be starters, but they don't finish things. So that's going to come up for you. So if you are a Capricorn rising, this is going to affect you in your fourth house. So this is the natural placement for the moon, and it is about your home and your relationship with your mother, your ancestors, and it is also your subconscious beliefs, and even things in your home life. So if you are feeling like there's a lot of arguments in the house and you're being really aggressive and you're not keeping the peace, not at the point where you're removing your authenticity, but to the point where it's because you're wanting to be combative, that's going to come up. Or even like your ancestors, like, are you disconnecting from your ancestors? Because remember, we're in Libra season, and on the 31st of October is when we celebrate our ancestors. So that's going to come up as well. But this is the masculine, feminine energy in the home, like marriage, like union. And so anything around that is going to come up, or your subconscious beliefs again. And and it could be about moving into another, it could be literal, it could be about the home that you're in getting reactive and just, you know, get a fire, really create a fire in you that you want to decorate your home. That could come up right now. But it is being in tune with the subconscious beliefs you have around Aries energy. So just keep that in mind if there's any emotions that come up. And you might even feel drawn to work with your ancestors at this time and create an altar and, you know, have a picture up on your altar of loved ones who have passed. That energy comes up with the harvest supermoon. Now, if you are a Aquarius rising, this is going to be in your third house. Aries will be in your third house. And so this moon is going to affect the way that you communicate in the world and how people see you and how you want to express yourself, whether it's the way that you speak, you write, like social media. And it's really not like getting aggressive or like a knee-jerk reaction, right? So it's like you want to put something in the world, whether writing, and you just get impatient and you're just like, oh, good is good enough, and then you hit the send button, and then you're just like, holy shit, there was all of these errors. So know that it's about you being patient, double checking, making sure, like, think before you speak, because you don't want to burn bridges during this full moon. There's emotions going to come up too about how maybe you felt invisible, like people don't see you when you're communicating, people don't hear. It could be around social media, like having low views on social media or not getting the recognition for your work that you thought you would, and then you're like, oh, screw this, I'm going to give up on this, I'm going to delete my account. That's very Aries energy. So be mindful of what comes up for you during this full moon. And then if you are a Pisces rising, you're going to see this in your second house, which is your house of money. So don't be reactive around spending. Don't, because it is your material world. It is it's your skills and talents. It's how you like touch, feel, hear, taste. It is also the same house when it comes to what you put in your mouth, your head. So know that you need to pay attention to any habits that you have around there. And you might even during this, you might really feel strongly that you want to have like a cosmetic procedure, right? Like something with your teeth, or even, you know, your hair, like change your hairstyle or something like that. It is also about your imagination, being compassionate, your intuition, and your spiritual world. So this moon might shine a light to really inspire you to work with more spiritual tools, You might be drawn to divination during this time. You might want to learn more about astrology, or even just the unknown. You might be piqued around psychology and how people think. That could come up for you. But Aries energy, remember, it's like starting something new. So, like, your imagination might have like a burst of inspiration during this full moon, super moon in Aries. But also, you need to be aware that you don't just react, and you give yourself time to work on it as a building process instead of just jumping in and then giving up. So those are the signs. If you resonate with any of these, just be aware. I mean, like I said, this is a general read. I don't have your natal chart, so I can't specifically tell you what is really how you're going to feel according to other placements in your chart and with the transits that are happening. But overall, remember that the full moon in Aries during Libra season, where Mars is in Libra as well, and Venus will be going into Libra on the 13th. So it is that masculine, feminine energy. And then also, it's fall. And so it's like really giving yourself time to have more pleasure, more of that Venusian energy, more of that relaxing, more of celebrating yourself for the things that you have accomplished so far, instead of always criticizing and saying, I need to achieve more, I need to do more, I need to act more, I need to more. So be mindful of that, and then be intentional with your ritual, and be intentional if you're journaling, if you want to write a letter, if you're setting intentions, be intentional that you're working with the universe and you're doing it in a pleasant and positive way of what you're going to let go, instead of from a need or discourage, frustration, impatience, because all of that's going to come up with this Aries moon. And that's all I have for you today. And if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.